The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. 100% classroom capacity is now allowed in universities and colleges under Alert Level 1. But no vaccine, no face-to-face classes will still be implemented for students going back to school. That's on top of having PhilHealth insurance as a requirement. Jenny Dongon with the report.
Malacanang says colleges and universities are now allowed to have 100% capacity under Alert Level 1. But there's a caveat, only those who are fully vaccinated will be allowed to go to school.
Pinapayagan na rin ang pagkakaroon ng limited face-to-face classes sa kolehiyo o higher educational institutions or mas kilala bilang HEIs sa mga lugar na nasa Alert Level 1. Tanging fully vaccinated teaching, non-teaching at students ang pinapayagan sa lugar. Habang flexible learning modalities naman para sa unvaccinated or partially vaccinated students.
Despite this, colleges are still free to choose best learning modality depending on their situation. The government says universities and colleges should assess their own reopening capability and to seek assistance from their LGUs.
It is in the discretion of the HEIs to choose which learning modalities should they operationalize, as long as there will be continuity of learning.
Under IATF Resolution 164, students older than 21 years old who will participate in face-to-face classes should be covered by PhilHealth or any medical insurance to cover any possible expense caused by COVID-19. Those aged 21 years old and below are advised to become dependents of their parents' or legal guardians' insurance. Meanwhile, the Education Department says it's still not possible for elementary and high schools to conduct 100% face-to-face classes. Currently, around 6,122 out of more than 40,000 public schools have started conducting face-to-face classes in the country. DepEd says the safety of students is of paramount consideration and that they will only implement 100% face-to-face classes upon instruction of the President. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
The Commission on Higher Education is gearing up for more schools to fully operate as 100% classroom capacity is already permitted under Alert Level 1. With this new guideline, the Commission is expecting more universities and colleges to implement back in-person classes by next year. As of now, more than 300 schools are conducting face-to-face classes for more than 1,000 degree programs. Aside from full vaccination, students are also required to be covered by PhilHealth.
Hindi mo na masyadong pinoproblema yung kung ilan ang iyong pababalikin na pwedeng mag face-to-face classes. Yung mga hindi bakunado, pwede silang magpatuloy mag-aral sa pamamagitan ng online classes.
A new variant of COVID-19 has been detected across Europe. This time, it's a combination of Delta and Omicron, the two variants that cause huge infection rates all over the world. Meanwhile, back here in the country, the FDA has approved the emergency use of Pfizer's oral anti-COVID drug, Paxlovid. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez has the details.
The Philippines now has 2 antiviral pills against COVID-19. The Food and Drug Administration has approved for emergency use Pfizer's Paxlovid. Paxlovid was the first COVID-19 oral drug approved by the US FDA because it proved almost 90% effective in preventing hospitalization and death. The other oral COVID drug is Molnupiravir, for which there are now at least 7 brands in the market.
Meron pong nadagdag na isang Molnupiravir na gamot. Ito po yung galing ng Bangladesh, Molnupiravir po ang pangalan.
The new drugs couldn't have come sooner. The World Health Organization has raised the alarm over a mutation of 2 COVID-19 variants. It's called Deltacron, a combination of the Delta and Omicron variants, and it's been found to be spreading rapidly in Europe. Still, infectious disease experts believe high vaccination rates should prevent another deadly surge.
I would surmise mas marami dito ang Omicron over that of the Delta. But I doubt it will cause severe infection. Marami na rin nabakunahan. So I think humihina na rin talaga ang severity nitong virus na to.
The IATF so far has inoculated some 64.2 million Filipinos, including more than 10 million who have gotten their booster shots. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Vice presidential candidate Sara Duterte says she has made up her mind not to attend debates this campaign season. Mayor Duterte says she will not be joining even the COMELEC debate scheduled on March 20. She added that she trusts the Filipino people can decide who to vote for even without debates.
I've already decided that I will do this campaign without joining debates. Iniiwan ko na po yan sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan ang pagdesisyon sa pagpili nila sa Vice President na ganito po yung aking direksyon sa kampanya.
Singer-turned-entrepreneur Rihanna might be looking for her umbrella soon as it is set to rain cash after she plans to value Savage X Fenty lingerie company's initial public offering at $3 billion. More in this Bloomberg report.
And she launched it in 2018. It was supposed to be a partnership with LVMH. Right now, the timing is probably not great. We haven't really seen any meaningful IPOs since beginning of January when TPG went public. It's been 2 months. We haven't seen anything at all. So all of the timing of this Savage Fenty IPO is really going to hinge on market conditions. And the more certainty we get on inflations, on rates, on geopolitical events, the more certainty we will have on when this IPO will come.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty ugly also for IPOs. The Renaissance IPO index down about 45% from its highs back in September, Crystal. Is there, though, any indication that an IPO like this for a lingerie company, something that really goes, competes with a company like Victoria's Secret, could it be kind of immune to the volatility, at least in the IPO space that we've seen of late? It's a different kind of company than a lot of the companies that have been going public lately.
It definitely has all the right ingredients to be a good IPO. It has the star power. When you brought up Victoria's Secret, it's actually really interesting because since its launch, people have been comparing the two, and Victoria's Secret have gotten a lot of criticism for being not so inclusive, and Fenty is the exact opposite. Like, she has launched this brand to be to fit all skin tones, to fit all sizes. So on the ESG element, she definitely has that bagged as well. So all in all, you're really seeing a consumer name that could get retail investor excited, and in turn you would probably see institutional investors come in. So a deal like this could, in theory, open or reopen the US IPO market. But right now, just so much volatility, so much uncertainty, and we probably won't see this in the very near term.
And Crystal, do we have any sort of blueprint for this? I mean, you're a Bloomberg Deals reporter, but you've covered past celebrity IPOs. I mean, Jessica Alba, The Honest Company, they come to mind.
Yeah, we spoke to Jessica actually on the listing day, so I'm hoping we can do the same with Rihanna. It's interesting that Elle Catterton has been picking a lot of these businesses. So Elle Catterton has been an investor in Venti as well as Honest, and those have Honest was an interesting one because when it debuted, it was at a very high valuation, and since then it has drastically come down. But these are different companies, and Venti is mostly direct to consumer and has very minimal retail footprint. And we've learned, we've actually, it's been reported that she's planning to open a flagship location in Brooklyn. Wow. And it will be a 3 stories shop, and it's one of the it's going to be probably the 6th retail location that she has. So it really hits all the right buzzwords like asset light, direct to consumer, and it could be another of Catterton's good picks.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Following a series of oil price hikes, the government is set to release fuel subsidy for affected PUV drivers and operators this week. The tandem of Calyodi de Guzman and Walden Bello continues the Mindanao leg of their campaign today, while the Bongbong Marcos-Sara Duterte duo is scheduled to campaign in Muntinlupa and Las Piñas. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno will be visiting Masbate, and Senator Manny Pacquiao, on the other hand, is expected to make his rounds in Quezon Province. And Olympic pole vaulter E.J. Obiena is missing this year's World Indoor Championship after he was not endorsed by the PATAFA. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 10:15 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.